first shot with the nail gun. Here it goes. Very exciting. Woo! Yep, I'm working up a sweat. But it's fun.
So what you got going on?
So I've started with the pilings, the columns that'll hold up the skids on the shed. These are 4x6 skids. They're treated because it floods a lot around here. So there's 2 skids. They're going to be a foot or 2 from the end. It's going to extend, the shed itself is going to extend over the columns by about 2 feet in each direction.
So why are the bricks so high here?
Because that's how high it floods. So you can see how high the house is, the foundation on the house, and that's required by law. That's flood elevation. It's supposed to account for the 100-year flood. In other words, every 100 years we might have a flood that gets to us to that height, and so the house should be protected from that. And this is a couple feet below that, so I'm going to have additional protection on the shed, which part of it is the treated lumber at the bottom, and then also I'm going to have some type of lumber joining the floor to these columns.
So if the shed is going to be so high, how are you going to get inside?
I'm planning on building a ramp, like right here. A ramp down to, the driveway ramps down, and as it ramps down, I'll ramp up to the shed. And then hopefully I'll have it detachable so that if we have to use this driveway to get something to the water, like more
like jet
wave
skis?
breaks. Yeah, boats, jet skis, but also if we need to repair the breakwater, we can bring rocks in and we can bring different material in. Or repair the pier. We can bring wood in. So anyway, so it's gonna be 6 inches higher than these skids. 4x6 skids, 2x6 floor joists, which means it'll be about up here.
The second board in is anchored all the way?
It's secure, right? The other boards are not secure really. They're just hanging.
How did you hang it? By a nail?
Yeah, you can just twist them.
Okay, so we're lifting you from here, right?
Okay, sure. Yeah. Now,
Let's just test it and see how heavy.
ready? Floor joists up on top of the skids, on top of the columns. We have to make sure that the floor is square, because as we put it up we could shift it back and forth. It can collapse either way, and so we measure the diagonals and make sure they're equal, and then figure out how we have to adjust it. But also we'll install the end boards that I left off, and then fasten everything down. So that's the end of the floor, and then we'll start our walls.
So this is the subfloor, right?
Right. We got the joists relatively square and standing up straight, level. And so now we put the subfloor on, and I just put full sheets in the back, and then I cut the front cut the length off the front sheets, and now I'm going to cut the width off the middle sheets. Woo! Have to be careful. I realize now that I should have kept the finish edges on the edge of the building. So instead of, I realized what I should have done. Instead of cutting the boards at the end of the structure, I should have put the finish edge at the end and then cut both of the joining boards at the middle of a joist.
What kind of issue does that create?
What that issue solves is that then the seams between the boards are on the middle of a joist, and so everything's supported. There's not a single end of the board that falls outside of a joist where it has no support. Right now this board falls in between joists. The end of this board, the end of that full board falls between joists, so it has no support at the very end. Anyway, I can fix it. I can put cross beams in and stuff like that. So
Got it. Cool.
it's pretty easy, but it's just
I was going to ask, how do you resolve that? Cross beams.
right, exactly. That would have been more elegant. That would have been real carpentry.
And we are not real carpenters. Whatever. You know what I'm saying, people.
Is that even? Bump it in. Cool. They said tomorrow's gonna be hotter than today. So we need to get this party started.
Get it, girl.
So we built the 6-foot wall. Now I'm going to build a 10-foot wall, and so I measured. So I have two 14-foot pieces, top and bottom plate, 2x4, and I measured and marked 2 foot along where the stud spacing, 16 inches on center, 24 inches on center. You mark that along the top and bottom plate, which I did already. And now we just have to nail the studs into those markings. And then we can stand the thing up and then put bracing on it just like I have here so that we can build the sidewalls.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Here, just leave that there for a second, then
Right.
we can straighten it out when I come down there. Is it straight up and down as far as you can tell? Yeah.
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 10-foot wall versus 6-foot wall. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Until the plan is to eventually put solar on the angled roof, which is why once we get the roof on, it'll be angled.
Yep. Lean-to style roof,
Lean-to.
which means it just has one slope.
Put in more cross brace.
Putting in, yep, more cross bracing.
Good job. we put the roof, or not the roof, but the frame of the roof up just a moment ago.
It is 95 degrees out here. At least it feels like it with the sweat factor. Like the opposite of the chill factor. Cool.
Crawl spacing is put on to prevent the structure from swaying, aka falling.
Exactly.